There's going to be trick-or-treating on a very, very limited basis, I would imagine. And you can't turn those lights out during the daytime hours, can you? To discourage trick-or-treaters coming to your door if you don't want to participate. Rhode Island-based casino company Twin Rivers said yesterday it's going to change its name to Bally's Corporation next month. The company noted in a release on Wednesday that the change is going to happen on November the 9th. So they must be printing up a storm with signs and letterhead and all kinds of stuff. Statement said the Bally's brand embodies a rich history in American gaming and entertainment and aligns perfectly with our current and future growth strategy and is ripe with untapped innovation potential to help us launch future entertainment services. That's what the chairman of the company's board of directors had to say. It didn't immediately say that the Rhode Island casinos would be renamed. The new Bally's Corporation will operate 28 casinos and off-track betting sites across 10 states. Earlier in the month, another candidate purchased the Bally's brand. So if they spend all the money to purchase the brand, then the brand's ultimately was going to change the name. The company also manages 7 other casinos in Mississippi, Delaware, and Missouri, also in Colorado. Boy, this got the attention of a lot of people. Joe Piolino, the developer and former mayor of Providence, according to the Providence Journal. Piolino's name's been discussed, by the way, as a potential candidate for governor in 2022. He's calling for the city of Providence and the state to work together to prevent a supposed purge. Piolino said in a news release that he had written letters to Governor Gina Raimondo, Mayor Jorge Elorza of Providence, and Colonel Hugh Clements, Chief of Police in Providence, asking for their unified support to safeguard the city against a possible violent attack. The purge, by the way, refers to a flyer that appeared on social media as far back as late September. The plan, such as it is rather vague, but the flyer says this supposed Halloween weekend event is, quote, not a peaceful protest. The flyer uses an image from the 2016 movie Purge election year, much of which was filmed in Providence, by the way, Minnesota. The film is part of the Purge horror franchise, which refers to a world in which for 12 hours once a year all crime is legal, including murder. Piolino does not want to see such a scenario certainly play out in Providence. 17. That's at art.org. And the Massachusetts Historical Society virtual Making History Gala featuring Pulitzer Prize winner John Beecham, GBH's Emily Rooney, November 17th. Tickets at masstips.org/gala.
It is 6:30. I'm Lydia Waring for Chris Ross. Great to be with you this evening. Here's Margot Uccellini's La Faustina with Maurice Steger and the Maurice Steger Ensemble.
Angela Merkel says there's a risk of ICUs simply overflowing if they don't take action, and that's why she has introduced this nationwide set of restrictions. And meanwhile, in France, the President Emmanuel Macron appeared on TV last night. This is a more severe situation for the French. They're in tens of thousands of cases every day. Half of ICU beds, more than half, are now occupied, they say, by COVID patients. And so President Macron is calling this a new lockdown. He says we have to return to the confinement that stopped the virus in the spring. So not only are bars and restaurants and many other businesses being forced to shut down from tomorrow, but also people across France must stay at home in most circumstances. The primary difference, I think, with this new French lockdown compared with the first one in the spring, this time schools are going to remain open, and that's a pattern that we're seeing across Europe, that even as case numbers rise and restrictions are tightened, schools in most places are being spared and are continuing to stay open. But yes, Europe, in a big way, is worried about this, worried about rising case numbers. The President of the EU, though, Ursula von der Leyen, has also warned of a second challenge for political leaders. She calls that corona fatigue. She says people are becoming tired of restrictions, and indeed there have been a number of protests in Italy after the rules were tightened there.
Okay, Simon Owen, Fox News and the Wrap International on COVID-19 and where we stand. 5 days to go before we hit the poll. 73 million people have already cast their vote. Supreme Court's now stopping Pennsylvania from accepting mail-in ballots after the polls closed there. At least for right now, that's how that stands there in Pennsylvania, which of course is a key state. Here's Fox's Jared Helpman.
The Supreme Court denied Pennsylvania Republicans' request for a fast-track review of the state's Supreme Court ruling that ballots received 3 days after the election must be counted. It's the second time in as many weeks the U.S. Supreme Court refused to block the extension. But in a statement, Justice Samuel Alito, joined by Justices Clarence Thomas and Neil Gorsuch, suggest a ruling on ballots received in the mail after polls close could be challenged after the election. The court's newest Justice, Amy Coney Barrett, did not take part in the consideration or decision. Jared Helpman, Fox News.
FBI issued a warning yesterday that criminals are set to launch a wave of ransomware attacks on the U.S. healthcare system, which could hurt patient care. The attacks are aimed at locking up hospital information systems to make them inaccessible and then demanding money to release them. Associated Press citing independent security experts is saying at least 5 U.S. hospitals have been attacked this week alone, and hundreds more could potentially be targeted in the attacks by a Russian-speaking criminal gang.